Hi there! Welcome back to another episode of Kafie's Corner. I'm your host, Kafie. And today, we're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake, Part 2. If you've watched my channel before, you know how I am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, but that extends to everything Square Enix, including Final Fantasy and the Final Fantasy Remake series. So today, I'm joined by GlobosHekili to talk about what we think we could see in the sequel. Fair warning though, spoilers lie ahead, so if you've never played the original 7, now's your chance to back out. Otherwise, just sit back, listen, and enjoy.
Oh, I just thought of this, Heckley. Aerith is because Aerith and Sephiroth have the memories from the original. So if Erith dies again, that's literally Aerith dying a second time. The same Aerith we know and love dying a second time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can handle that. Like I always knew that Aerith could die, but I didn't think it would be literally the same Aerith.
Well, same Erith, but different at the same time, because it is this timeline's Erith, just with the other memories.
True. Yes. That's like a whole Fringe episode right there.
Oh yeah.
Something I wanted to say, because we were saying that enough characters haven't really been built up besides Aerith, but if they were going to pull something on us, do you think someone like a Cloud or a Barret would be more likely instead of a Aerith?
See, I think if they end up killing off anyone else, it will be something like, it'll end up being like Cloud or someone, but Erith will be so knowledgeable that they'll be like, he's not dead. I mean, he's dead, but we'll bring him back. Like, this will be the time where they actually have a way to bring someone back.
Ooh.
So, but if that would mean Erith has to live.
Totally. Aerith's a Cetra. She's the last living ancient, so maybe she could have some knowledge that would bring a character back to life if they, like, intercept the blow and Cloud dies instead or something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I have a feeling that if Erith lives, someone else will die, but she'll know how to bring them back. It'll be something stupid, convoluted, but it'll be fun.
I am down for the wild ride that Namura and company are putting us through. And speaking of Namura, he gave us a few tiny little tidbits the other day. He said development is going great, although we do hear that a lot with various games. He said Part 2 will start right after the events of Intergrade, which kind of leads into my Nibelheim theory.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing was that he did say Cloud will be running around a lot in the wild, and it's a different atmosphere than Part 1. So I thought that quote was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can see something like that, but I have a feeling it's going to be more Choco rides and running around between cities rather than like in an airship flying around. I think it's going to be more foot travel than air travel.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that. And at that point in the game, we mostly do foot travel and chocobo travel and stuff to start to get you kind of used to the vastness of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I wanted to just go through a few characters really quickly and tell me if you think we'll see them in Remake Part 2, and if we do, just kind of in what aspect.
Okay.
Red 13, do you think he will be a playable character in your party, or do you think they'll keep him the same way he was in Part 1, where he just kind of comes to help you out?
I hope he becomes part of the party, but I can see him being that kind of feral aspect to your party where he's there and he does a lot of like combo moves from the side, but he's not playable. And that's just feeling like Umaro from Final Fantasy VI, who is in your party, but you don't actually get to control him, even though he takes up a character slot. But at least with Red 13, if he's there, he's not taking up the one of the three character slots, so you basically have 4 characters when he's around.
Yeah, I'd like that and hate that at the same time because I do want Red 13 to be in my party and I want to put the materia slots around his collar because he even has it. But I'd also be down with just the aspect of you having a fourth party member so you can cast magic and do whatever with your other 3, and meanwhile Red 13's still pounding away or doing what's necessary.
Well, I mean, on the flip side, he could still be equipable, and you just don't have control over him.
Ooh, yeah, I'd settle for that. That's like a happy medium.
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. Next on the list is Yuffie. Do you think she'll end up with Cloud and company right off the bat, or do you think something different's going to happen?
See, I would say that all depends on where they're taking the story. Because with how they're doing, Zack potentially, does that mean there's going to be 2 parties, 2 stories that we're following? And is Yuffie going to be part of Zack's story, or is he going to be part of Squall's story? Or Squall, wow. Cloud's story.
Bring Squall into that. That'd be nice. But no, I definitely. That'd be cool because Zack we know is we don't even know what timeline he's in actually. But if he is in Cloud's timeline at the moment, he could totally meet up with characters such as Yuffie and Biggs, who I personally think is going to be a playable character in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. Not with Cloud and company, because they're off on a journey of their own. But I think that Biggs and Zack, same party.
Yeah, and I mean, if it isn't the split timeline and Zack's around, I would say it would make a lot more sense to have like Biggs and Wedge together with Zack, and then have that as the secondary party, because they weren't supposed. Well, none of them were supposed to live, right?
Yeah, none of them lived in the original, and
Wedge. So here's your death party.
Crossed. He survived. Sorry, what was that?
So here's your death party, and here's the OG party.
Nice. Yeah. Actually, that'd be such a unique concept. Wow. I have 2 more characters left. One is Vincent. Do you think they're going to have him join the party the same way?
I mean, he's an optional character in the original, just like Yuffie, and it feels like they're pushing Yuffie to be part of the main story. So, I mean, Vincent could end up being DLC for Part 2, but at the same time, maybe it's Yuffie's companion that they end up doing as DLC at Part 2. Giving him more of a backstory through that. And then Vincent will be DLC in Part 3.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or run with like a Yuffie and Vincent party, maybe even, and have like 3 playable parties.
That would be pretty messed up. But that would go back to my favorite part of Fantasy VI when they had the multi-party battles and stuff.
Oh, those multi-party battles were really fun. Alright, let's finish it off with one last question. Do you think Sephiroth will be the main villain in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? Or do you think that it will start focusing on Sephiroth, and by the end of it, we'll be introduced to several other villains, and he may not be the main antagonist after all?
I think Sephiroth will be majority of the main villain, but then there's going to be something that's been underlying the whole time that we never saw in the original 7 that may have still been pulling the strings, but was never able to manifest. And now with the spirits and everything, maybe we'll actually get to see what the original bad guys were supposed to be in 7 that just never showed themselves.
Yeah, I'm still down for, now that we have Nero and Vice, for seeing like Genesis and a few other ones. I think they're going to throw some more villains at us, and you may be right. They might keep Sephiroth as like the main villain, but I still think that there's something in the background that we didn't notice before, or wasn't able to happen in the previous timeline. And now that the villains are back and in a different way, we could see that manifest.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So those were our takes on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. I want to thank you once again for joining us, GlobosHekili, because it's always great having you.
That's no problem.
I know you.
Awesome.
The Colosseum.
So, I'm curious to know what your theories are. Make sure to leave them in the comment section below, because I always love hearing new theories. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button while you're at it. But most importantly, have yourself a great day, and happy gaming!
Good job, Erith. It was nothing compared to you.